The world has watched with bated breath as the conflict between Ukraine and Russia has escalated into a full-blown military conflict. For years, the people of Ukraine have suffered under the weight of this tension and violence, and the region as a whole has felt the impact of this struggle. But what if the tide were to turn in Ukraine's favor, and the war were to come to an end with a Ukrainian victory? What would this mean for the future of Ukraine, Russia, and the surrounding region? In this video, we'll be delving into the unknown and exploring the possible outcomes of a Ukrainian victory in the war against Russia. We'll take a close look at the political, economic, and social implications that such an outcome could bring. Will it lead to greater stability and cooperation between Ukraine and Russia, or will it trigger new and dangerous tensions? Join us on this journey as we attempt to shed light on the complexities of this conflict and the impact it could have on the future. This video is not just about the outcome of a war, but about the possibilities for a brighter and more peaceful future for Ukraine, Russia, and the world.
When President Biden announced that the United States would send 31 M1 Abrams tanks to help with the fight.
Russia stepping up attacks in the east, targeting civilians, as President Zelensky pleads for longer-range missiles and fighter jets to help Ukraine prevail over Putin's forces.
U.S. and its Western allies are pledging heavy tanks to Ukraine ahead of a potential Russian offensive in the spring. National Security Council's John Kirby laid out the timeline on Friday.
The political ramifications of a Ukrainian victory in the conflict with Russia would be far-reaching and complex. On the one hand, a successful conclusion to the conflict would provide Ukraine with the opportunity to rebuild its government and establish itself as a strong and independent player in the region. The end of the war could result in new political alliances, both domestically and internationally, and provide a path towards stability and growth for Ukraine. However, the political implications of a Ukrainian victory are not without challenges. Russia may not accept the outcome of the conflict and could seek to continue its occupation of Ukrainian territory, resulting in ongoing tensions between the two countries. The potential for renewed conflict between Ukraine and Russia would have significant implications for the region and could destabilize neighboring countries, leading to the need for diplomatic solutions. Additionally, a Ukrainian victory in the conflict could trigger new tensions and disputes between Ukraine and other countries in the region. The shift in power dynamics brought about by a Ukrainian victory could lead to new challenges for Ukraine as it seeks to establish itself as a dominant player in the region. The need for diplomatic solutions and cooperation between Ukraine and its neighbors will be crucial in ensuring stability and peace in the region. Furthermore, the political implications of a Ukrainian victory in the war will not be limited to the region. The outcome of the conflict will likely have global consequences and could affect the relationships and alliances of other countries around the world. The economic ramifications of a Ukrainian victory in the war against Russia would be far-reaching and complex. The conflict has caused widespread destruction in both Ukraine and Russia, leading to significant economic losses for businesses, individuals, and the governments of both countries. In Ukraine, the war has damaged infrastructure, homes, and businesses, and rebuilding these will require significant investment. The government will need to prioritize these efforts to ensure long-term economic growth and development. On the positive side, the end of the conflict could provide new opportunities for investment and trade in Ukraine. With stability and security restored, businesses could begin to operate more freely, leading to increased economic growth and development. The resumption of trade and commerce between Ukraine and its neighbors could provide a much-needed boost to the economy and create new job opportunities. However, the economic implications of a Ukrainian victory are not without challenges. The ongoing tensions between Ukraine and Russia could continue to impact the economies of both countries, even after the conflict has ended. For example, Russia may seek to impose economic sanctions on Ukraine, limiting its ability to trade and conduct business with other countries. The impact of these sanctions would be felt by both Ukraine and Russia, leading to further economic difficulties. Additionally, the conflict has disrupted trade routes and supply chains in the region, leading to economic losses for businesses and individuals. The restoration of these trade routes and supply chains will be critical for economic recovery in both Ukraine and Russia. The cost of rebuilding infrastructure, homes, and businesses will be substantial, and the government will need to secure funding from international sources or through debt. The impact of a Ukrainian victory in the conflict with Russia will not be limited to Ukraine and Russia alone. The outcome of the conflict will likely have global economic consequences and could affect the relationships and trade agreements of other countries around the world. For example, the European Union is Ukraine's largest trading partner, and the continuation of trade and investment between the two will be critical for the economic recovery of both. Moreover, the oil and gas industry is a major contributor to the economies of both Ukraine and Russia. The outcome of the conflict could have a significant impact on the production and export of these resources, which could affect global energy prices and the economies of other countries around the world. The social implications of a Ukrainian victory in the war against Russia are far-reaching and complex. The conflict has had a profound impact on the people of both Ukraine and Russia, and the end of the conflict could provide an opportunity for healing and reconciliation. First, the conflict has caused widespread displacement and trauma among the population. According to the United Nations, over 1.5 million people have been internally displaced in Ukraine due to the conflict, and many have lost their homes, communities, and possessions. This has had a profound impact on the mental and physical well-being of these people, and it will take significant time and resources to help them rebuild their lives and recover from the conflict. The Ukrainian government will need to focus on providing adequate support and resources to these people, including psychological support and access to basic services such as healthcare and education. Second, the conflict has deepened the divide between communities in Ukraine and Russia. The conflict has led to the growth of nationalism and extremist groups on both sides of the border, and it has strained relationships between communities that have historic ties. Reconciliation and healing will be critical for ensuring social stability and security in the region, and it will require effort and understanding from both sides. The Ukrainian government will need to focus on promoting reconciliation and dialogue between communities and on addressing the root causes of the conflict, such as inequality and discrimination. Third, the conflict has highlighted the importance of human rights and freedom of speech in Ukraine and Russia. The end of the conflict could provide an opportunity for the government to focus on protecting these rights and promoting equality and justice for all citizens. This will be critical for ensuring stability and security in the region, and it will also require the government to address the root causes of the conflict, such as corruption and discrimination. The Ukrainian government will need to focus on implementing reforms that promote human rights and the rule of law, and on addressing the needs of marginalized and vulnerable communities. Fourth, the conflict has had a profound impact on the political landscape of Ukraine and Russia. The end of the conflict could provide an opportunity for new political leaders to emerge and bring change to the region. The need for political stability and cooperation will be critical for ensuring a stable and prosperous future for both countries, and it will require the government to address the root causes of the conflict, such as corruption and political polarization. The Ukrainian government will need to focus on implementing reforms that promote transparency, accountability, and good governance, and on addressing the needs of marginalized and vulnerable communities. In conclusion, if Ukraine were to win the war, it would have far-reaching implications on the country's political, economic, and social spheres. Politically, changes in the government and improved relations with Russia would provide an opportunity for stability and cooperation in the region, potentially paving the way for peace talks and diplomatic solutions to other conflicts. At the same time, the improved economic outlook would result in increased trade and foreign investment opportunities, providing a much-needed boost to the country's economy and contributing to the overall improvement of the quality of life for the citizens of Ukraine. Societally, the increased cultural exchange and cooperation would lead to a more diverse and dynamic society, where different communities could come together and work towards a common goal. This would provide a much-needed sense of unity and create a more inclusive society. The end of the conflict and the political, economic, and social implications that come with it would provide a brighter future for Ukraine and set a positive example for other countries facing similar challenges. If you found this video informative, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content like this.